I definitely don't think if I was stranded in the forest with a random man that he would protect me the whole time we're stranded there.
Okay.
What do you think he would do?
How about, wait, hold on. I want to actually get an answer to the question.
What was the question?
Percentage.
What percentage of men do you think would choose to attack you in this scenario? Because it's like random men, right? So
Probably like 80% of men.
80.
Like if you think about how long am I stranded in this forest with him?
I think you're overthinking.
Let's say you're stranded there for 2 years. Just say you're stranded there for 2 years with him.
Unless it was that guy that was celibate for 17 years.
You think 8 in 10 men. 8 in 10 men.
Yeah, men are scary.
Would essay you. 8 in 10.
Men are scary.
Oh, well, okay.
Hillary Epstein donated $99. Bye-bye, it's bedtime. LOL.
Bye.
Thank you for that, Hillary Epstein. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful night. 80%. What's the population? Population of adult males USA.
About, I think, roughly 140 million.
So do you think?
Okay, let's just say out of 10 men, like 8 of them, I'm pretty sure if you were to just spawn them in the middle of the forest, like you're saying, like 8 out of those 10 men would probably
would essay a woman.
Yeah.
Or murder them.
Yeah.
So, your family members and the male family members of your boyfriend, they also, so 8 out of 10 of your male family members would do this too?
Unfortunately.
Giovanni JD donated $100. I loved the girl on the right's reaction to the lizard sex, but they were desperate in the wild.
The thick girl on the right's reaction to the lizard sex, but they were desperate for that lizard.
So 8 in 10 of the men in your family would essay women in the forest, if they could.
I can think of a handful of men in my family that
No, that's not what we asked.
Disgusting.
8 in 10. 8 in 10. You said 80%. That's 8 in 10.
I don't.
That means
know
out of all. So think of 10 males in your family. 10. 8 of them are going to essay a chick in the forest.
I don't know more than like 5 men in my family.
Okay, well, let's just take 5 then. 4 and 5. 4 out of the 5 men that you do know in your family are going to essay a chick in the forest.
Yeah.
So this would include
I could think of,
your father.
I could top,
would that include your father?
No, he passed away, so I'm not counting him. He's not alive.
Wait,
okay,
so
but
how about
you
this?
can envision him, right?
Yeah.
Would he do it?
No.
How about this framing?
Okay, brother?
No.
Cousin?
Yeah.
How many cousins are you envisioning? 5?
No. 2.
Okay, so there we have it. So where do the other 3 come from?
Uncle, grandfather, great-grandfather.
So your great-grandfather, your grandfather, your uncle, and your 2 cousins are all going to essay a chick if they're in the forest, really?
I could see that possibly happening.
Oh, are they or aren't they?
Yeah, depending on the circumstances, I could possibly see that happening.
So I just want to make sure your grandfather is a artist. He's a rape. Your grandfather.
I said great-grandfather.
You said your great-grandfather and
then
your
I corrected
grandfather.
myself, great-grandfather.
Yeah. Okay. You said your great-grandfather and your grandfather.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have a grandpa. I have a great-grandpa, but I just.
No, I'm pretty sure it's biologically impossible for you to not have a grandpa.
I don't know my grandpa.
Okay, so your 2 cousins for sure they're going to R-word a chick in the forest no matter what.
Melonova donated $100. Andrew, good faith question. If a man told his wife to kiss the ground literally every step he took through the house, would that be cool since she has to submit? Or is there a threshold? What is it?
Quick response to this.
The threshold has to comply with reason, so no, that would be unreasonable. I can actually express why that would be unreasonable. But anyway, back to this, this kind of back and forth here. I just want to make sure both of your cousins are R-wordists. They're both essayists. I just want to make sure that I hear it from you that you're 100% positive. They're definitely going to be, against her will, taking that chick in the forest, right?
Not against her will, but that doesn't...
Well, why do I... Hang on. Wait. How could it be... How could they be essaying her if it's not against her will?
Because there's like SA that isn't like the type you're referring to, where it's like you kind of just
what?
Make
What would they
happen.
do that would essay her? What do you think they would do?
I'm pretty sure all of the girls here have been in uncomfortable situations where...
Yeah. So answer my question. I don't care about what you think other girls in the room have been through. What would they do to women in the forest? What would they do?
I'm just going to stand by that. I think 8 out of 10 men would do that.
Yeah, I don't care what you're going to stand by. What would they do? You just said that they would essay
What
women
would you
in the
do if you
forest.
were
What
stuck
would
in a
they
forest
do?
with a woman that wasn't your wife?
Nothing.
Nothing. Survival.
Yeah.
What would you do?
I mean, maybe like ask her to, I don't know, sharpen a stone. Like,
Okay, she didn't want to
gather
do. She didn't want
firewood.
to. She didn't want to do anything like that. Would you think about maybe?
I would
Okay, I
just
need to
abandon
eat.
her. If she refused to assist in her
Smallson
survival situation.
donated $200. A woman right now on X is trending. She has a mold of her husband's Pierce's urn. Unfortunately, he passed this a cool idea for a man. Are these popular? Would you buy one for your husband's/B?
Hang on, I want to finish this real quick before we get into that. So
let's just have the girls here, really quick. Just show of hands. Would you be cool with this? Would you do it?
Do what?
Hail and well met.
Oh my God.
Lol Paladins donated
that's a no. It's a no.
$100 and
No hand
2
raises.
cents.
Thank you, Lol
This
Paladins.
scamming prostitute is so messed up. With her genetics, she herself would likely essay and take advantage of anyone she runs across that is weaker than herself. Because that is what she already does.
I wasn't a. Let's just make that
Okay.
clear.
So I would, well, yes, I think stripping is, but I guess we can leave that for right now. I would like to dive into your question. Your question was, what would I do if I was with a woman in the forest? Well, I would try to reason with her and say, listen, if we're going to have the best shot, we need to work together to get out of here. And then after assessing the situation, I would probably give her some tasks to do. If she refused to do the tasks, then I would likely abandon her so that I could get out of the fucking forest.
It's past your.
Yep.
Or you could just stay for the rest of the show.
Do you need to go get some Insure?
Yes, I do. It is past my bedtime.
These old hags gotta get going.
You said 10.
We're not going to go
I
for
gotta
too much
wheel away on
longer.
my wheelchair right now.
Not going to go for too much longer here, guys. Let's just finish the show.
I have a question on this. So, do you want to have kids?
I have one, but yeah, I want to have more.
Is your kid a boy or a girl?
That's a girl.
Now, do you want to have more kids?
Yeah,
It's possible you'll have 1, 2. How many more kids do you want?
like 2 more.
2 more kids. So if they're both sons, you're willing to say that under your roof of raising them, they have an 80% chance of becoming.
No.
What makes you
Because-
stand apart from all the other women who are raising men
There's
to
a-
become 80% chance of being grapists? But what percent chance? If you had to put a number to it, what percent chance will your sons be grapists?
I would
50-50,
raise
or-
them with like real core values in like a Christian household.
But I thought it seems like you're making the argument that this is just something that's innate in men. They are inclined to essay women.
Yeah,
They're
if you had
inclined to
10
be
sons,
violent.
you're saying that 10 of them are going to be grapists, by the way. 10. Or I'm sorry, if you had 10 sons, you're saying 8 would be grapists. If it's 80%, 10. Sorry, I mean 8 out of the 10.
I mean, this
Hypothetical.
It would be hypothetical.
Yeah, this hypothetical. I mean, you're not really giving any anything except the fact that you're spawning us randomly in a forest,
Nope, we are giving you
and
something.
it's a random man. Yeah, I would rather
Nope,
pick
that's
a
incorrect. We
bear
are giving
over-
you something. We asked you, how many men do you think in that situation would do this type of thing. You said 80%.
But this was
based
after
on that. Based
I
on that, we
stated
can
that.
extrapolate. If it's 80%, that would encompass all men. If that is true, that all men at the level of 80% would essay a chick in the forest, then that would mean that 8 out of the 10 of the children you could potentially have would be rapists if they were men.
I'm just going based off of the original question, which was a bear or a man, which I would think,
Yeah,
okay,
but
maybe
you
not
had
like
reasoning
80%.
for why you chose a bear.
Yeah, I would just
And your
feel
reasoning was
safer
because you
with a
said
bear that's in its
80% of
natural
men,
habitat.
80% of men, if that was your reasoning. If that is true, then you're admitting
I'm
that
also
8 out of
thinking
10 of the
in, like, a
men in your
secular
household are rapists.
I'm also thinking of like secular men because that's kind of like the headspace I'm in right now in this podcast area, studio questions.
Why? You said 80% of all men.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of secular men.
Well,
What? Okay, so how many Christian men?
Probably less than.
50%?
How much less than?
Less than, probably like
50%?
less.
40?
Like
30?
out
20?
of 10, possibly 1 or 2. Possibly.
Well, okay, so 20%. I just want to let you know, okay, that the staggering rate that you put at 80%, the deviation between men who self-identify as being Christian who grape and secular is not very wide. It's not
talking
very
like a
wide.
true,
I mean,
not someone
as
that
to be a
identifies as.
statistical anomaly, it's that close. In other words, your chances of, if you're a Christian going up of you graping versus being secular, it's not very wide.
Again, I was going out of the context of me thinking about 80% of men that I encounter on a like daily basis, which most of them are secular.
Have you been essayed by 80% of the men that you've encountered?
I've been verbally like harassed, yeah.
By 80% of men. 80%.
If I go outside, yes. That's
So-
why I personally didn't want to come here by myself. My boyfriend's outside. Like,
But so
I don't
even
like leaving my house alone.
even if I grant, okay, so even if we consider catcalling within this, 80% of men catcall you. 80%.
it's not just catcalling, like verbally. It's
Okay,
the looks.
here.
It's the
80%.
Innuendos.
So hold on, catcalling and then like everything worse than catcalling. 80% of men do that.
less now that I only go outside with my boyfriend. Yeah, but when I go outside alone, yeah,
It's 80% of men.
yeah. When I would go out
So
to
if
LA.
you go out, so just like going to Trader Joe's, 80% of the dudes, yo, what's up?
I've literally been in the Starbucks line and gotten catcalled from
Sure.
like outside. No, like in the drive-through.
Was it 80% of the men in the Starbucks?
It was in the parking lot. That's
Was
like
it? No. Fine. Yes, it happened. One guy at Starbucks said that. Was it 80% of the men? You need to be consistent here.
it's just like the fact that like from my view, yes,
Sure, it happens.
80% of men are dogs in the
80% of
secular
men.
world. Yes.
So, but 80% of the men that you see at Trader Joe's, Starbucks, wherever, they're catcalling you or worse.
Yeah, worse because I feel like looks are the same as catcalling.
A guy looking at you is a guy
It's
who
not just
looks
like
at you.
looking. It's like the like sexual innuendos they're making while looking at me.
Okay, so
Okay, hang on. I'm not even willing to entertain this. If a man is looking at you in a way that you consider to be lustful, is that
it's sexual harassment.
how's that sexual harassment?
If you're publicly willing to make those type of gestures to a woman in public, like
No,
what would you
type
do
of
if there
gesture?
weren't
He's
people around?
looking at you.
I don't want to make the gestures on camera.
dude,
No, that's not my question. My question is if he looked at you, just looked at you in a way that you thought was lustful, is that sexual?
It's harassment.
Is it assault?
Okay, no, it's not physical assault.
Okay, so then when you say SA, we're talking about assault, you say that you think that 80% of secular men would assault you. We're not talking about them looking at you in some whatever bizarre way you think that means that they want to sleep with you, because that could mean anything, and women are often delusional and overestimate how good they look, as you can clearly see from this panel. So the thing is, I just wonder, right, from the SA perspective, do you honestly think that 80%, 8 out of 10 men, if they were trapped in a forest with you, would SA you?
Did we not just get down to 20%?
No, we didn't. You said, I said secular men, not Christians.
Yeah, 8 out of 10 men, I feel like, would do that. And not just to me, to like, if it's their type of person, yeah.
Do you realize that if you were to even take 20% of the men of the United States, I'm not even sure what percentage of that would even be capable of sexual activity. You're talking about men who are in their 60s, 70s, 80s. There's only so many men who are even fit to do this. The age bracket that you're talking about, probably that you're envisioning somewhere between like 16 and 40. 8 out of 10 men doesn't even come close to encompassing this.
That's what I'm picturing.
How could you even come up with this as a rationale?
Because you said random man, so I'm thinking logically like the man I picture, right? The random man I'm picturing. So you have 100% of the entire pool, which is going to include everybody from every age bracket who's a man, 18 plus. 80%. You're including 100-year-olds, 90-year-olds, 80-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 60-year-olds. I like that you get to put a box around what it is and like the amount of men, the ages, and all of these different brackets. But when I'm clearly telling you like this is what I think, I can't do that. Because I'm saying, obviously. That doesn't even make sense. What honestly, you just said doesn't make sense. I'm giving you clear criteria. That's what I'm saying. Like, you get to
100% of men are all men, right?
Obviously, men who are sexually capable of doing that.
Yeah, there's only going to be X amount of men who are even capable of doing that. Literally, not even 8 out of 10 men could be capable of doing that. It's not. I don't even think it's possible for them to even be capable of doing that.
Andrew, just grant that they're capable.
Yeah, okay. I guess we will for the sake of argument, but look, it's such it's so illogical. It's hard for me to even grant it.
Let's even grant. Look, they're 18 to 50-year-old able-bodied men. Let's just grant that. What percentage of those men do you think is it 80% still?
Specifically me? I don't know, like probably like 40.
What? You said 80.
Yeah, I was going based off like if I'm just being like a woman, would I rather pick a bear or a man? I think it would be safer for a woman just to be with a bear than a man.
Okay, but so sure. You said 80%, but now you're saying 40%.
Because he's making it very specific to like me. I just
to you.
Yes. If I were to be spawned in the middle of a forest, I would rather just pick a bear.
No, okay, but how did you jump from 80% to 40%?
Because if he wants to, like, he was taking his criteria, like, out. So it's like, yeah, like, you also are trying to, like, say, oh, well, if these men are, like, 80, they're not being able to do this and that. And it's like, okay, well, you want to make it so, like, small of, I'm taking out Christian men, I'm taking out men that have value, like, secular men, right?
Okay, here, the way I framed it was able-bodied men between the ages of 18 to 50.
Yeah, so I'm adding
including
exactly now
Christian
I'm adding
men.
it in to the Christian men being in this. That's why it goes down.
Okay, let's take out the Christian men then.
Then you have the same answer.
Okay, 80%. Okay.